chance. I'm a first year. I do politics and sociology. And after Emma's presentation, I feel like I'm kind of desecrating the curriculum a bit, but this is my poem. I wrote this first poem, I won't do two. I wrote this first poem as like a diss track to GCSE poetry, because I personally think it just gives poetry a bad reputation. Like when you ask someone about poetry, they always like assume the power and conflict anthology or something like that, do you know what I mean? So this poem is like a reminder that poetry is so much more than what you've studied in your GCSE classroom. This poem is called "The Kids Won't Mourn Your Poetry." William Wordsworth ain't worth my words if the kids don't know what his words are worth. See, the kids weren't told what their words are worth, and what's worse than a generation with empty words and lost work. You see, I've done John Donne, and frankly, John Donne is done out. Done in and gone out of style. Wilfred Owen, Lord Byron, Alfred Tennyson, William Blake, your poetry is dead, and the kids won't mourn its death. See, my friends tell me GCSE English ruined poetry for them. How we dismembered its body, watered down its magic, killed its god, and revealed the ropes behind the curtains. Your poetry is dead, and its memorial took place in our exam halls. See, my poetry is alive and kicking. My poetry is found in all the places your poetry was too afraid to visit. Your poetry does not live here. Your Shakespeare, your grammar, your literature, your poetry does not walk these same streets. It's never heard the city whisper sweet nothings at night. It doesn't even move to the same beat. Your classics will not find us at the back of our classrooms. Does not affiliate with our state school sonnets, because some days we speak in tongues, even if the sun will never set on it. You see, your verses don't indulge in our free school meals, are too structured to be free, too packed lunch to be digested, but could never pack a punch because it's too congested. We were tested on your poetry, and soon every stanza read like an exam paper. It had us searching for missing marks in the margins. I believe there are love poems spray-painted outside local corner shops, and lost stories layered flat like bricks of housing blocks. See, this that proletariat kind of poetry, the type of poetry that the kids would have preferred to see. My poetry is the gold that lines the cracks of broken English, found amongst the scraps of languages they try to diminish. See, my poetry makes the broken beautiful. I mean, there are verses carried on the back of every mother tongue, nurtured from Nigerian soil and Igbo spirituals, even sings my mother's songs. But the wind no longer hums your rhymes, and the trees don't dance to your melodies. Your poetry doesn't live here. Your Shakespeare, your grammar, your literature. Your poetry is dead, and the kids won't mourn its death. Thank you. The second poem I wrote this like a week ago. It was a commission for Pearson and EdXL, because they're also trying to like decolonize the curriculum, whatever that means. So this is the quote. The title is basically a quote, and it's Plato that says, "Literature is a mere imitation of life." So they say literature is a reflection of life. But when students cannot see themselves in the text they consume, reading can taste a lot like the shards of a broken mirror. I mean, only 0.7% of students will study a book written by a person of color, so what use is an author's imagery if you cannot picture yourself in the story? What good is a happily ever after written 200 years before you? Diversifying literature is more than just the mispronounced name of a token character. It is the key to unlocking a world full of familiar faces, because too many students have found themselves locked out of the curriculum. What good is a hunger for knowledge when you are the uninvited guest to the dinner table, being fed by writers who could not cater to your needs? There are far too many students who are unrequited lovers to poems that will never love them back. If these texts are truly intended to be reflections of our lives, then diversifying literature provides a window into a history that has been previously boarded up. It is opening the curtains and shedding light on overshadowed spaces. Diversifying literature is unspoken voices running over lines and into the distance. What is enjambment anyways, if not freedom? And what purpose does assimilate serve, if not to be the mirror between a text and our everyday, like or as if the writer themselves have walked our same earth and spoken with the same tongue? What else is the author's intention, if not to be understood by an audience who, in turn, want nothing more than to be understood? If literature is a reflection of life, then let it reflect this life. Thank you very much.